advice from fools. I just figure everything is cool until I hear it from you.
I'm Joe Duffy, CEO of OffshoreInsiders.com. We're going to take a look at the Conference Championship games 2012, the NFC and the AFC. Let's start out with the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. We're going to take a look at the key numbers that sharp gamblers use. When we compare the team's yards per rush on offense, the more advanced records favor the 49ers by 0.6 yards per rush. As far as passing yards per completion, on the offensive side of the ball, the digits favor the Giants by 2.6. Employing yards per point, the more efficient offense is New England by 1. Defensively, the more operative lineup based on yards per rush is San Francisco by 1. The upper-rated defense based on the provisions of passing yards per completion is the Giants by a mere 0.1. The yards per point statistic used by the best sports handicappers say the superior defense is the Niners by 4.9. Turnover ratio favors San Francisco by 22, which is pretty daggone big, folks. Yards per point is determined by dividing total number of yards by points. Offensively, the lower number is considered the more efficient. And on defense, the higher number is better. And to our regular listeners to the football podcast throughout the year, what do we like to say? Kind of a bend, but don't break defense. Now, spread records, all these records are ATS, meaning against the spread for you newbies. New York has covered 7 straight playoff games. They're 6-0 to teams with a winning record, 20-8 versus an opponent with a winning home record, and 35-7 on the road, but 5-17 on grass. 49ers are 7-0 after allowing more than 250 yards passing in the previous game, 10-2 after allowing less than 90 yards rushing in their previous game, 13-3 on grass, 12-3 to the NFC, and 15-5 overall. Now some over-under trends. Giants have gone over 10-3 after scoring more than 30 points in the previous game. Over 15-6 off of a spread win. San Fran over 12-5 to the NFC. Now we also have Baltimore Ravens and New England Patriots. The betting line has the point spread posted as New England, 7.5 with a total of 50. Now OffshoreInsiders.com is going to take a look at this betting matchup. The yards per rush on offense, Baltimore by 2. Insofar as passing yards per completion on the offensive side of the ball, the advantage is for New England by 1.7. All the best picks on this game will be at OffshoreInsiders.com from the nation's top handicappers. Now, according to the yards per point, the not wasteful offense is New England by 1.1. Defensively, the more miserly team based on yards per rush is Baltimore by 0.9. The more exceptional defense based on the stipulation of passing yards per completion is the Ravens by 1.3. The yards per pass statistic used by the best sports handicappers in the world, such as the world-class handicappers at OffshoreInsiders.com, say the better defense is New England, forcing 1.7 more. Turnover rate favors the Patriots by 10. Now, don't forget, OffshoreInsiders.com is going to have all the winners for the spread betting trends. Baltimore is 6-1 after accumulating less than 250 yards in their previous game. 5-1 the teams with a winning record. They're 21-9 after allowing less than 150 yards passing in the previous game. 45-21 after accumulating more than 350 total yards in the previous game. And 1-6 in the playoffs. Again, all records are against the spread. Baltimore is going over 8 out of 9 after accumulating more than 90 yards rushing in the previous game. They've gone over 8-2 after accumulating less than 250 total yards in their previous game. New England's gone over 6-0 in the month of January, over 22-6 off of a win, over 22-6 overall, and over 20-6 to teams with a winning record. Again, all the best sports picks, all the best sports information, all that and more. www.offshoreinsiders.com. Again, www.offshoreinsiders.com.